Let's do another take.
Basement dwellers.
Oh my gosh.
Send her home.
What do I do now?
Worst date ever.
Well, I was on this date with this guy who had absolutely no qualms about like sweating and blowing his nose while we were trying to eat, and it was disgusting, and he had no couth, and he just wasn't very tactful, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to finish up and eat and just leave. And so when the check came, I just made an excuse that I had to go and left.
Right after we ordered the main meal, he broke out in this horrible allergic reaction. He had to go home immediately. You know, he left me money to pay for everything, but I had to like sit there all by myself. But got to take home his leftovers.
I go out with my girlfriend, we have a nice meal, we're drinking some wine, maybe a little bit too much. Get in the car, heading to the prom, and she says, I'm not feeling so well. I pull over, turn up the air conditioner, trying to cool her down, and that's when everything came up. Right into the vent, blew right back on us.
And we were eating this salad, and it had this stupid cherry tomato I could not get with the fork. So it was rolling around the plate. I finally just scooped it, threw it in my mouth, and when I bit it, it exploded and shot across and hit him in the face. It was so embarrassing.
The majority of my dates are dweebs. I'd say about 98%. Basement dwellers, no car, no job.
So my friends and I arranged to get a limousine and go to a concert, and we're all excited. We all have dates. I fly in a girl from out of state, and she just doesn't talk the whole time. It is the worst date. I was so relieved to finally put her back on a plane and send her home.
It's tough when you meet somebody who just doesn't really open up. They're really quiet, they're really shy, they don't really ask any questions. I'm pretty easy around other people, so I like to get up into conversation and find out about people, and when they're not really engaging in a conversation, you're kind of left with, what do I do now?
Because I'm so desperate for somebody to fix. I love that type of attention. It never works out, but you know, the beginning is always good.
She was so shy, she wouldn't even acknowledge me in the coffee shop when I met her. I literally stood over her, knowing it had to be her, and she wouldn't even make eye contact with me. And I finally left.
He came and picked me up. We were going to a nice restaurant. I was pretty excited about it. And I kept hearing noises in the back, and so I looked back there and finally I saw something moving, and I asked him what it was. Turns out it was his friends that he had brought on the date.
After my divorce, it seemed like every guy I met was my best buddy. I couldn't buy myself a date. I would have settled for a bad date.
My worst dating experiences always seem to involve a blonde.
Then we went dancing afterwards, and while I was there, I ran into an old boyfriend, and I ended up leaving with my old boyfriend and ditched the nice guy, and I feel really bad about it. So that's my worst date ever.